Hey everyone, welcome to the Season 10 finals. It's finally here. We have two great bots that have made it through to the finals, and obviously we're going to have the third place playoff as well. I am joined here by Polymorphic
Right.
and Doctor.
Right.
Thank you very much for joining us both. Great to have you here. So you've been catching up on the yesterday's games at all, Polly?
Yes, watched several in the car, and I've been watching
Yeah,
this morning.
hopefully not while driving, right?
No, well, other people were driving to.
Oh, okay, good,
No,
good.
no bots causing car crashes. Other kinds of crashes will do, but
Yeah, but yeah, Doctor was very gracious to join us yesterday. Semi-finals were great, man. Like we were saying before you came on stream, that I think that the three-way lover versus Strelok semi-final was probably the one of the only ones we've had that have been a five-game series where it hasn't been just one bot bugging out for two games and then just crushing the other three. But yeah, no, it really was a fantastic semi-final, and obviously good to see Micro Machine come through again. Defending champion here to defend his tournament. So
For sure, it was great. Wonderful game. Some of the best we've had so far in the AI tournament.
yeah. So what's your predictions for tonight anyway? Strelok
Maybe
versus Micro Machine, baby Micro Machine versus daddy Micro Machine.
my
Some
heart
people
says
say.
Strelok. I'm always a fan of the underdog, and I've been a huge fan of Strelok for a very long time. Ever since he was first introduced. My brain says Micro Machine. So heart says Strelok, brain says Micro Machine. Micro Machine has the reputation.
yes, that is
I
very
think
fair.
he's the statistical favorite going into this, to say the least.
Yeah. So Polly, any predictions from you?
Yeah, I think it's gonna be very hard to topple Micro Machine, but I mean that he's lost some maps so far, and so there is potential here for.
Yeah.
I think an upset.
Yeah. You never know. You can never tell what's going to happen in these games, certainly. Anyway, let's just have a look quickly at the tournament as it is so far. So yeah, we see the quarterfinals. Strelok overcame Sharkbot and then three-way lover in the semi-finals to get to this final. Obviously, Micro Machine coming through a tough quarterfinal versus Sharpened Edge, and then handily defeating Spiny 3-0 in the semis. Obviously, we've got our third place playoff coming up, which is between Three-Way Lover and Spiny, which is going to be fun matchup, I think. And that is actually our first game. So let's get that loaded up, shall we?
Yeah, for sure. Which one
So,
am I?
so if you go
Okay,
to
so
the
here's
third place, and then the first match is Three-Way Lover versus Spiny on Eternal Empire.
Gotcha. Yeah, I totally misplaced my folder. I was like, I have like 8 Finder windows open, and none of them are the one I want. Surely I could be the only one who leaves everything open until my computer lags, and at which point I go to not Home Depot, but like Best Buy and buy more RAM for my computer and just plug it in. Like, I would never dream of closing my tabs or windows. Like, either my computer's going to crash or I buy more RAM, but I'm not closing anything.
Yeah, of course, I would never do anything like that because I'm such a clean and decent person myself. Right. Of course, I do that.
Don't we all?
I mean, surprisingly, I closed something though. So,
yeah.
like, and it was what? Password incorrect. Okay, quit Starcraft.
Oh no, that's good.
Well, it's weird because if you launch it through the launcher, it doesn't make you sign in. But
Yeah,
if
because it
you,
auto authenticates with Blizzard.
I have a robot voice. Here, one sec. I'm gonna listen to myself.
Oh, I think it's good for me. Let me just check the.
Actually, everyone has a robot voice. Okay, mind me. Maybe refresh the stream. I was streaming the other day, and my buddy said that everyone has a robot voice. Okay, everybody, like he's like, what microphone do you have? I'm like, Blue Yeti. Like, it's garbage quality. Maybe you should get a new one. I'm like, no, this is a Blue Yeti. It should be at least like medium tier. Like, it shouldn't be terrible. And he's like, okay, I'll refresh the page. And it's like, oh, everything's wonderful now.
Yeah.
I think
I
like the
just
correlation
checked.
between the advertisements. So if you watch an ad before the stream, like sometimes the audio is messed up. Did that happen to you? Did you see an ad and then we're all robot voices? Anyways, that's just a side conversation. Yeah. I'm in Starcraft now, opening up the map.
Okay, Polly, you good to go when you're ready?
Yep, all loaded.
Awesome.
Okay, it's opening up. Three-way Lover versus Spiny on Eternal Empire.
That's correct.
Okay, ready.
Cool. Going in 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, Polly, do you want to do the intros?
Sure. In the top right of Eternal Empire, with the blue drones, it is Spiny. And in the bottom left, with the red probes, it is Three-Way Lover.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice.
So Spiny with a GLHF, just for show.
Very respectful. Palin already on the high ground for Three-Way Lover. He's a big fan of those one base builds. Seeing a Palin on the high ground does not necessarily mean it's going to be a one base build, but it's definitely been very common based on the play we've seen out of him yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah, and generally against a Zerg player, you don't really want to be walling off on the high ground unless you're going for one base.
Yeah, it's a lot easier to get the low ground wall and secure your natural than it is to get a high ground wall, then later try and take a low ground wall against the Zerg. Like, now is the time to take a natural if you want it.
Yeah. But yeah.
Though one thing to note out of the Three-Way Lover, doesn't generally well on the low ground either. So we'll have to see what he's up to this game. I'm thinking of Void Race, Tempest. What do you guys think?
Yeah, possibly. Normally when he walls on the low ground, it's normally an accident. But yeah.
You feel like that?
Yeah, so the unnatural hasn't been taken yet from Three-Way Lover.
Built 2 gases, but it's only mining 2 probes in gas.
Yeah, that seems a bit inefficient.
Spiny has a little bit of PTSD about proxies, it looks like. Taking a drone, scouting literally everywhere.
Yeah, and with a really late gas opener, usually when you see something like this, like a hatch gas pool, you'd expect the gas to be a lot earlier, but banking a lot of minerals instead.
Think he's gonna see a quick third, maybe, or some sort of Zergling swarm.
Yeah, some early pressure. The unnatural being taken.
Yep, there we go.
Unnatural, yeah.
Oh. Yeah, so we will probably see what Three-Way Lover is about to do after this Cybercore is finished.
It's the game of what tech? It's a Robo Bay.
It's a robo, but that doesn't necessarily mean he's not going into Stargate as well.
True.
So, so there is the Zealot comes out, which would protect against these Zerglings coming across the map there.
Although, not going to be able to defend this low ground base if... Although,
Yeah.
again, 2 Zerglings don't do a whole lot of damage, but...
No. Those Zerglings are going to take their time on that base.
Probably more efficient to kill probes here.
Yeah.
Probably going to throw down a Stargate and immediately start making a bunch of stuff. As it looks like, oh no, not quite a probe kill. 1 probe kill, 2 probe kill. Zealots come by to save the day. The unnatural was scouted pretty quickly by Spiny, so he has that going against him. The unnatural is way harder to defend than the natural, especially on this map because you got this tiny little wall. Like you got that little ramp, and that's basically the main thing you need to hold. Again, when you're holding the natural, but over here you got to hold the ramp and like this huge open other ramp. So.
And Spiny already on 3 bases. Pretty good drone count. First tech is an immortal, and that's not that speedy. Oh, and the lane gets in.
Yeah, he's going to scout everything there, but There's a fair amount of zealots there, so he might be just doing some zealot immortal kind of push.
I would
Yeah,
like to see some more tech out of the Zerg player here. Zergling's not great against zealots.
No.
so see some more tech out of Protoss too, like maybe Twilight Council and Charge. Like slow zealots are kind of iffy.
Slow
in my
zealots
opinion.
are the worst gateway unit. So
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably true.
there's
as a-
500 gas, you know, casual.
even as a Terran though, like I think any zealot is absolutely terrifying.
I feel it.
Yeah. So there is a Stargate coming now. So it's a bit of a later Stargate than we saw yesterday. But obviously not quite under as much pressure as Strelok was putting him under.
These queens should be more than enough to deal with the
Yeah.
zealots, although target fire
Although-
might be.
Sure, but they're not getting the transfusions. And
Yes, and
Is
the
it- and the
target
zealot
fire is
doing-
far from ideal here,
Yeah.
but it does look like eventually.
Well, that was quite a few queens left there. That was like 5
That was.
queens.
How are we looking on units? Resources lost. It looks like Zergs took way more damage. It's one immortal against 2 roaches. The ramp is gonna definitely help out those roaches, but like immortal against roaches, definitely
gonna
the kind of fight you
survive.
want for the immortal. Unfortunately, focusing on the Zerglings rather than the roaches, you take the immortal does way less damage to Zerglings than it does to roaches. So.
Yeah. Oh, and lost the immortal.
And maybe the next one.
Yeah.
On
Yes.
creep is not the place you want to be fighting.
No, and it's quite a roach count now as well. Like, it's mainly,
However, Void Rays, pretty much the hardest counter to roaches.
yeah, some on the way.
That's true. Voiders and immortals both and tanks all pretty
Yeah.
good against roaches,
Yeah.
but one Void Ray in theory could kill infinite roaches, so how's that going for him?
Well, over time,
That-
yes.
There is no lair tech, which means that there is no direct counter besides queens to the Void Ray.
Yeah.
And
That's true. That's going to be brutal. And fighting with 1 queen at a time probably isn't the way you wanted to go about it, especially if you're not fighting the Void Ray.
if you
Like,
just
this is not even
that
fighting.
creep
It's
tumor,
just, gotta get that creep.
must place
Yeah.
Yeah.
these overlords flying to their death.
And this is just another demonstration of what Reddit knows about the Terran versus Protoss matchup. They said making Void Rays better wouldn't do anything, but look where we are right now. We got Void Rays absolutely going to town against Zerg.
Yeah.
And
I mean, yeah, and the queens aren't being pulled here to defend this. The Hydra Den is finished now.
Hydra is finished. 1 Hydra on the way. You think that's going to be enough?
Well, last time I checked, 2 Void Rays does beat 1 Hydralisk, but if we throw enough queens in the mix, we might be able to even this out.
The queens
I
are getting
think
some
enough
damage
queens
done.
could kill anything. Like, all those transfuses. But all the queens are so low on energy. They have not been making
Yeah.
any transfused energy.
The Void Rays
Yeah.
are getting a little bit low though.
Looks like
One
it's
goes
gonna
down.
be taken care of.
Yeah.
Hydra's finally here to help in the fight.
Hydralisk singular, finally.
Yeah,
help
yeah.
the fight.
That's not multiple that already. Oh, we have to. It's fine.
The good old let's make 1 Hydralisk at a time strategy.
Yeah.
And it looks
They're
like some of these roaches are being burrowed at low HP.
Yeah, that's something that Spiny does very well. Basically, he'll just burrow his roaches when they get low, and then you get to a point where you can't actually kill them because as soon as they get on low HP, they just regen so much through the burrow.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the Overseer mix in the army, because if you're just going to have perfect micro burrowing roaches all the time, the only thing that can stop you is detection. If you just have an Overseer floating around, picking off observers, or whatever the corresponding race's detection is, your roaches are going to gain infinite value over time. Pretty good.
I mean, the Void Rays are sort of the stalkers of flying units. They do a little of everything, but they don't do anything very well.
So army count is about even, but it does look like Spiney's army is a lot more clumped up. And
But Three-Way Lover has all of these bases just unscouted, free mining.
yeah,
With a few Zerglings, they could be easily stopped, but they would have to be seeded first.
yeah. So I noticed Three-Way Lover seems to be taking out a lot of the overlords and overseers. So I'm wondering if that's going to block Spiny. It is going to supply block him there.
Several more of these are gonna die. Flux Veins means they chase these,
Do they even have Flux Veins yet?
I think that, maybe they don't. Maybe they're just
No.
speed buffed.
Yeah, the speed buff just makes the Voiders book it even without Flux Veins. It's kind of absurd.
Void Ray's OP.
Yeah.
Changed
Yeah,
my
Voiders
mind.
are really good. I find it really amusing that both Three-Way Lover and Spiny decided to take the corner bases before they took a more normal 5th phase. It's just kind of amusing. I
Or
think,
like the Rich Vespine base or anything.
yeah, exactly. I think that Spiny should be aware of Three-Way Lover's base, considering he sees all the probes like walking back and forth between the bases with the overseers. But I don't know if a Three-Way Lover has no idea about Spiny's base.
Well, these Void Rays are looking really dangerous here. The units just keep trickling out one at a time, and I mean, Zerglings don't counter Void Rays.
Indeed,
No.
that is correct.
I'm not sure where this Nidus is going. Oh wait, it's Nidus over here. There's a counter-attack
With
from Spiny.
like 12 Zerglings.
Yeah.
These
I mean,
Void
that's
Rays
all you need.
continue to massacre.
Like, you don't need that many Zerglings to do critical damage to the production if nothing goes back to fight it. It looks like the reinforcements might be enough, though. Nidus Worm on Spiny's side of the map has been taken down, so we're not going to see another Nidus play. Nidus Worm on Three-Way Lover's side of the map has been cleaned up, so we're not going to see any like critical damage to the production. And these Voiders are just going ham. Reminds me of Wings of Liberty, when all anybody ever did was make Voiders. Like,
It's not fair.
people had to like discover like there were more units than other Voiders. Like, no one knew what, like, once somebody built like a Colossus and people are like, they had to like hover over it and read the description of what it did, because all anybody ever did was make Void Rays.
I mean, why make anything other than Void Rays? They shoot up, they shoot down, they fly, like...
Yeah, it's a fair strategy. You know.
this is looking
Yeah, this
very
is
dire
looking-
here for Spiny.
So there are a couple of Mutalisks out as well, but I think they're just going to get taken down as well.
Yeah, they're not in the numbers that we need.
Yeah.
I think Spiny's army is just too small in size, not enough to fight back against this. And with Three-Way Lover on top of the production of Spiny, I think this game's probably going to be over soon.
Yeah, I think so too. Too many Void Rays just running around. So there
Yeah,
is
too
still...
many units were fighting one at a time, and eventually the amount of Void Rays was just overwhelming.
Yeah. Alright, I think there is not really enough left here to fight for Spiny, and I might call it here, guys.
I'm down with that.
Unless
Yep,
you have
looks like it.
objections.
No, I am
It's,
actually watching this any longer. It's a war crime.
Yeah, seriously, these Void Rays are just, oof.
They are pretty nasty. Right. So, there we go. That's all the production buildings gone. Yes, I have it in my logs that Spiny did actually crash at that point, so he didn't want to see it either. I think it was actually a surrender from Spiny, but it came across as a crash in the logs, so I think so. Anyway.
Any predictions for the next map?
I think it's I think it's pretty much a race, as we saw yesterday with Three-Way Lover and Strelok. It's pretty much a race between can Spiny get some units across the map to kill Three-Way Lover before Three-Way Lover manages to get out enough Void Rays of killing everything. But I'm not sure.
Yeah,
What do you
it
think?
definitely is. Do you think we're going to see the same builds on this next map?
Possibly.
I think we're gonna see some things get mixed up.
The third base is a lot harder to defend here for Zerg, so going for a quick third could potentially be dangerous. And in the same way, the third is going to be more undefended, but more off of the beaten path for being scouted by a three-way lover.
So the next map is on Nightshade. I've got that loaded up. How are you guys?
I'm also loaded up.
I'm good to go.
Awesome. I will just turn the. So yeah, going in 3, 2, 1, go. Okay. Doctor, do you fancy doing introductions this time?
Yeah, absolutely. In the bottom right, in the blue, the spirally Zerg, not spinny, even though he spirals, but spiny. With the rumored spine crawler push. Probably never going to see that, but. And in the top left, we have not one, not two, but three-way lover. It's the red Protoss. So.
Awesome. Yeah. So as you were saying, probably the third base down here where three-way lover likes to take an expansion is probably a little bit more exposed, even if it's a little more hidden.
It's definitely brutal to take on this map. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, as a Zerg player, I can attest to being very annoyed by trying to defend a third base.
Yeah. You are more forced to have them as a Zerg player, though, than you are as a Protoss. Protoss can happily survive on 2, whereas Zerg obviously need a lot more.
Yes, it is the way. 2 gas opener out of a 3 lover again.
I often find it particularly unfair that Zerg's hatcheries are 100 minerals less than the Nexus as well. But
yeah, but you lose a
You lose a drone.
Drones are 50, and you lose that lost mining time forever. So potentially, you're down 1 drone. That's infinite money. You know, over the course of the game, that drone could mine hundreds of thousands of minerals. You know, like losing that drone is a big deal.
Yeah, you never know. Could be the hero drone.
Yeah. But
A drone could be the difference between winning and losing.
well, the things a drone builds can be the difference between winning and losing as well.
That's true.
I generally would say a single drone less scary than a probe.
For sure.
Yeah, probe can
I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, probe can just build as much as he likes.
Exactly. Spiny definitely not wanting to take gas. Gonna have slow Zerglings for a while. Probably take a fast third. 311 top left, going for the unnatural expansion. Like we talked about earlier, might be a little hard to defend. We'll have to see how that plays out.
And with a third, with no gas, no Zergling speed, pretty much any units that come across the map are going to be doing a lot of damage here. It's going to be very hard to hold the third.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. We're going to need to see some killer creep spread in order to have any chance of surviving. Looks like Spiny's strategy is going to be move across the map with Zerglings, get some harass in, and hopefully get three-way lover to forget all about ever moving across the map, at least until he has gas and Zergling speed.
Yeah. So,
distractions.
Oh, this probe here is basically going to give the game away on this unnatural, but he didn't quite.
Almost saw it. Did he quite see the? He did not even see the gas.
No.
What a shame.
Put some more.
Just barely, and there's still no gas.
And now he sees it. But yeah.
The probe's probably gonna die here in large numbers.
Yeah. So it's 2-3 already.
Yeah, this is pretty interesting. Spiny got the quick third base, and he's still down on. Well, up until just a second ago, he was down on workers in comparison to.
Yeah, because he spent so much building the bases, didn't have anything to build the drones.
Oh man, three-way lever's taking some serious economic damage.
Oh yeah, and all Spiny
9
is building.
workers down already.
All Spiny is building is just more Zerglings, but it looks like results are going to be enough for the moment.
Here we see the Stargate coming down.
Think we're gonna see more borders?
I think so.
Yeah. They shoot up, they shoot down. I mean, again, what more do you need?
Yeah.
Things that shoot left and right.
That's
They
pretty
can shoot
complicated. I
up
don't
and
know about
down, but
that.
can they shoot horizontally?
That's sus.
No. They have to turn.
We don't do that here. Yeah.
Can they charge their laser and shoot in the center, the middle? Can they attack themselves, or do they need friendly void rays to help free up supply?
They can attack backwards, but I think the laser comes out the front of their ship, so if they attack backwards, they would probably just kind of like shoot themselves.
That
that'd
does
be brutal.
seem not ideal.
Yeah. I mean, maybe that's
I
what
would
the
really love to
prismatic-
see some Zerglings on this third base here. There are no workers. It is completely undefended. Or there's no defenses here. Just a bunch of workers just chilling.
Yeah, the chat's asking who's playing. We got 2 custom AIs. These are not the AIs Blizzard made. These are scripts that community members have programmed and written themselves, and they're AIs fighting each other. Right now we're watching the third place match, and it looks like there's going to be a brutal fight.
That's a
Slow
massive attack.
Zerglings are stronger than you might think, as long as you're on creep. Oh my goodness.
So this is so much more than we had in the first game. This is like, that's going to get the full surround on that Immortal, and oh dear.
This
So
is
no-
yeah, not great here for Career Lover.
Yeah. So no Spiny
That's-
has a very significant advantage.
The Void Ray's coming though. It's gonna have to be
sure.
one hell of a hero Void Ray.
Yeah, Void Ray is coming, but is it enough? Active forces, 400 minerals, 175 gas for the Protoss, to 3,050 minerals, 325 gas for the Zerg. It's coming across the map.
Wow.
He's going for him.
Yeah, that Void Ray is going to be huge. But Spiny can't wait. He's got to go now. Yeah,
The ramp.
so needs to get up the ramp,
think-
right?
Pylons here could be key.
Yeah.
He needs to chrono that Void Ray. If he has 2 Void Rays, he might actually have a chance at holding this. It will be brutal. He's going to take damage, but with 2 Void Rays, it's going to do enough DPS that maybe, just maybe, what is he doing turning around?
He's turning
Take out those
around,
pylons,
yeah.
take out the production. That is not good. Well, the real story here is the distraction. On
The 2
unnatural
Zerglings.
expansion, yeah, the unnatural expansion, we got
Yeah.
2 Zerglings going to town.
But I think what Spiny just needs to do is he just needs to go in with those roaches and like
Hold down the
screw
R-key.
Immortals. Yeah. Screw the Void Rays. Just like walk past them and take out pretty much everything that's there.
Yeah, I mean there is no lair tech. There is no tech switch here. It's just more and more roaches. So
This is one of the harder things to code, because like in general, you're like, okay, yeah, if the enemy has no enemy has air units, I have no anti-air, better get out of there because you're not going to be able to win. But like the decision making of like, should I sacrifice my whole army and trade super cost inefficiently to be able to do damage in some alternative form? Like it's a game of trade-offs and advantages. Like I'll lose my army advantage to cripple my opponent's economy. Like that kind of like critical thinking is really hard to script into bots. Most of the time it's let's just trade as efficiently as we can and win the game from death by 1,000 paper cuts.
Yeah. But yeah, I think like the only real anti-air we're seeing at the moment is the Queens, and I don't think that's going to be enough.
I mean, it was last. Well,
not
almost
if these
was last
queens
game.
keep running in one at a time.
Yeah.
If the Queens get in one at a time, that's going to be a sad time. The 2 Void Rays are coming out at a time. One thing we got to keep in mind though is Spidey's on 4 base economy. He's got the big machine economy going. The third base of 3-way lever is very undefended. Zergling speed, quite the timing. Just finished 8 minutes 24 seconds, and these Zerglings are going to kill a critical number of probes. All he has to do is find a way to deal with these Void Rays, and he'll be in a fantastic shape.
So there's this little army that's going towards the 3-way Lover's main base at the moment, or at least coming across the map, and that's basically managed to get past the Void Rays. Oh no, the Void Rays are back on them.
And all those Zerglings got so many kills on that third base in the whatever number base this location is.
It's a shame. I think Spiney's macro is a little slow, because he's killed 25 workers this game, and he's only up 8 workers right now.
He's
So-
certainly losing a lot of roaches to Void Rays here.
Yeah. Baneling's obviously not the best idea against Void Rays either.
Yeah, Banelings also do not shoot up. Very sad.
Oh,
Gotta go back to Brood War, get out our Scourge.
Yeah, chat has cleverly commented that Spiney's not making units that shoot up.
no.
Word. Word. Man, just,
Yeah.
yep.
So he's
It
making
does.
You're not wrong.
he's making spores, but spores aren't really going to do the trick here, I don't think.
Not without a big machine economy to back it up. Like, if he had 4 spores at all his bases, in a way that defends, like, 4 spores could do a number on the Void Rays.
Yeah.
Losing the lair is not good. Not building Hydralisk is not good. Baneling speed is not the answer right now.
So you say that, but this third base from Three-Way Lover is almost out, and he's almost mined out of his main. So if there is some way of dealing with these,
But there is though. There isn't. There's nothing that shoots up.
yeah,
And
I mean, you just
eventually
need to
the
make
Void
things
Rays
that
kill
shoot up.
everything.
Yeah. I mean, you just gotta make lots and lots of spores, and eventually maybe he'll lose the Void Rays. He has to deny this new third. Like, oh, he didn't even get this third, the current third. Oh no. That is not good on so many levels.
yeah. I mean, he's still mining more, but he just needs, yeah. He needs those Hydralisks to come out.
The Hydras need to be built. There are 54 drones, and there are a grand total of 0 Hydralisks.
Yeah. Does he have a Hydralisk den? I'm not sure.
He does
He
in his
does.
main.
Ah, yes. Yeah, there we go.
I do like Spiny strategy. He's down, but not out, right? Like, he's still focusing on that macroing. He's keeping his opponent busy by sending Zerglings everywhere, and he's just keeping his opponent busy. He needs to bank some larvae, get some minerals, and just make 24 Hydras or so, because what he has right now isn't going to cut it. Zerglings,
Yeah.
Roaches... I especially don't like Zerglings, right? Because if you look at the bank, he has so much gas banked up. Like, Starcraft is a game of resources, and Zerg especially, there's some things you got to keep in mind when you're macroing, right? Like, you have larvae. If you have a few number of larvae, but a big bank, build big expensive things. You got a lot of larvae, build Zerglings. If you have a lot of gas, build like Hydras and Corruptors.
Build
Zerglings are-
mutas.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mutas would be deep-
good in.
Or, I mean, really the counter here I think would be Vipers, but there is no Hive Tech.
No.
Yeah, Vipers would be very good. Especially considering how much gas he has baked up. He just needs to get... I mean, Hive Tech's so far away. At this point, I don't know if there's anything he can do.
No. I'm very
Void
close to
Rays are-
calling this one.
Crushing through everything. It is another
Yeah.
massacre.
A massacre of the voids.
Laser beams melting everything.
Yeah, I think we can pretty much call this now. There's no
I
army
agree.
at all from Spiny.
Yeah, Rasper has brought up that he has fallen victim to a classic blunder, updating the bot mid-tournament.
Oh, yeah.
Which is a risky trade, you know? Because, like, if you update mid-tournament, your opponent's going to be caught off guard, and maybe you'll have strats or improvements that your opponent has been practicing against and won't work anymore. But at the same time, if you break your bot, that's going to put you in a world of pain.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, it's something
Yeah.
that I've done before. But, yeah, so we're just seeing the voids crush through the last couple of bases here. Do we even have a carrier in there now? Yes. So finally, Three-Way Lover brought out the carriers. Carrier has arrived.
yeah, carriers are going to be basically the death sentence right here, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, now it's just a matter of hunting down. Yeah.
GG. Cool, so 2-0 Three-Way Lover. Spiny needs a small miracle to come back from this. Do you think Spiny has anything left in the tank?
I mean, the macro has been impressive.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of bases. There's been a lot of economy. I think just needs to build units that shoot up. Or hold down the R key a little earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah, I completely agree, and I'm hoping map variations or some sort of strategy variation is gonna put a wrench in things and like mix things up. Because 3-way has a lot of builds. It's not always all about those void rays. So maybe this time we'll see some robo build where he goes across the map with immortals and doesn't have a void ray follow up. I think that's unlikely, but it's it's possible. Maybe we'll see something new.
Yeah, definitely. Well, let me know when you've got it all loaded up and good to go.
I got it loaded up and good to go.
I'm good to go.
Cool. Going in 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, so down in the bottom right, looking to start a massive comeback, it's Spiny. And up in the top left, looking to take the 3rd place in the tournament. Needs just one more game. 3-way lover. It's the, I'm interested in the placement here from 3-way lover. It always seems to be right at the edge of the base, just so he knows exactly
Extractor
how
trick
to...
and 2 drones headed across the map.
Oh, this could be fun.
This is definitely something different.
Rock the hatch, boys.
Did he do it? Okay, so
Yes.
a long time ago, I thought Spiny was called Spiny because he had this proxy like spine crawler rush build, where he just built spine crawlers and push across the map with spine crawlers. He said, I don't know where he got that idea. Like that was never one of his builds. I'm like, oh gosh, John, I really want to see it. And he's like, one day, maybe I'll implement it. Could this be the day? Could this be the day we see spine crawlers?
It's entirely possible.
Yeah, there isn't a spawning pool yet. I hear as I say it. Spawning pool is coming down now. Are there any more drones headed across the map? Because this could be a telltale sign of wanting to set up a bunch of spines.
Here they go.
Here they go, yeah. 2 more coming across.
Yeah, and he built, this build's very well timed out. If you build the spawning pool, around, the halfway mark of... the spawning pool's a little late, but you can time it so the spawning pool and the hatch finish, at the same time, so you can immediately, start throwing things down. And it's pretty close to that timing. So...
I tell you what's absolute genius here, though, is this little drone sitting right where the wall should be to make sure he doesn't wall off. That's pretty good.
Yeah, that is...
I think it may have broke 3-way lover as well, because he hasn't actually started his cybercore yet. It's not like he doesn't have money for it. Yeah.
300 million IQ strategies right now.
That was brilliant.
And the spines are going to start coming down here.
The spine's coming down, and he's putting it behind the hatch. So the A-move zealot is attacking the hatch rather than attacking the spine crawler.
This is genius.
Genius.
This 3rd drone, I don't know if he's going to find a way to build that spine crawler. He really wants to build that spine crawler where the spine crawler already is, and it's definitely confusing the heck out of him.
Yeah.
Once the spine finishes, he'll have an opportunity to plant a new spine crawler, but we'll see.
No, I think it's just waiting for the minerals. Yeah.
No, it keeps moving right on top of the other spine crawler. He's like, come on, please, please. And now he's uprooted. Here comes the next spine crawler.
He has lost the queen, though.
The queen did die on the high ground, but there are 2 zealots. And again, slow zealots really not the ideal.
No.
Yeah, the cybercore was so late. He built the zealot to kill the drone that was blocking the cybercore, and it may be too late because delaying the cybercore has delayed the tech. He's not even mining that much gas. He has 1 worker on one gas, 2 workers on the other gas. You need all the gas you can get to be able to afford. He has plenty of gas right now, 420, but he needs some sort of tech. He needs a Robobay. He needs Stargate in order to fight back against these spine crawlers.
He's invested so much in taking this 3rd base. It seems like the main is pretty much just given up on.
Oh, and now the queen's attacking the probes.
But maybe they can recall the workers out.
Yeah, that's
Because
possible.
this is a lot.
Yeah.
This is a lot of static defense. A lot of it's been invested in this base here, and if you just recall out to the Nat or 3rd, you could potentially, I think, save this game. But there is no tech anywhere else, which could be problematic.
Yeah, I think it's the main concern. He can lose all the workers here in his main and still be fine because he has 2 other bases, right? The Zerg is so all in at this point that he has to end the game. Like, economic damage isn't enough. He has to end the game. And the tech advantage is what's really going to stand out, right? If he could get out an Immortal, if he could get out like a Void Red, then the tech advantage will kick in and swing the game in three-way lovers' favor. It's just the clock. And the clock is late because of how late the Cybernetic score is and how late the Robo is. But once that clock starts ticking, maybe things can turn around.
Yeah, so the Immortal is on the way now. But, like, he needs to take out the pylons, really. Once we get this Immortal out, I think it's going to be a lot better, but the Zerglings are also coming in now.
There are enough Zerglings, there are enough Spines, there's a Queen. One Immortal isn't going to save that.
Yeah, he needed some shield batteries to go with it, and I don't think they were going to see them. This might be too much. Is this the critical damage that Spiney's been looking for to come back and make this game a series? Surround onto the Immortal!
That was just brutal.
And meanwhile, the two Zerglings, hero Zerglings, discovered the net, killed all the probes, and are now working on the Nexus itself.
Yeah, so there is another base over there that is mining. Oh no. This match was absolute genius from Spiny.
That was very, very creative.
I think now it's pretty much calling this over. Unless there's going to be something at the third here.
I mean, I think by the time any tech comes online, I guess it depends on how long it takes to scout it.
Yeah.
Base is under attack.
There are so many Zerglings, though.
Yeah.
It's brutal. Like, he's not going to have the tech. I think Dr. Polly sent to call the time and date on the Arpation three-way level.
Yeah.
It does seem like it.
I'm calling that one there. GG, what a fantastic build there from Spiny. Spiny finally living up to his name.
Pulling out the Spines.
Yep.
I am a fan.
That was very cool build to watch.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. So we have a series, guys. 2-1, sorry, for three-way lover at the moment. I hope we see that build again. I really do.
I think it's his best shot right now.
Yeah.
Next map is
on Zen.
Yeah, Zen. You think it's possible we'll see it on this map?
No, I think given the position of the natural on Zen, I think it would be a lot harder to pull off. But you never know.
Indeed, you do never know. We'll have to see. Looks like Ketrock's giving some valuable insight in chat. I think three-way lover's build order broke, which is why I pulled up resources that got spent on Nexuses. So what that kind of demonstrates why three-way lover is a champion bot. You know, oftentimes when build orders break, you don't like bots tunnel vision a bit. Most bots will be like, I cannot build a cybernetic score. Error, and like just pull up 1,000 minerals and then lose. But he gave himself an opportunity to come back by getting those other nexuses and getting that income, right? He's like, okay, I don't know why I can't build this cyber core, but like I have money for nexuses, I might as well go build them. So he got the unnatural, and then he got the unnatural bases, and almost gave him the economy that he needed to come back. But the delayed tech did not quite give him what he needed. Did not quite have the tools he needed to hold. So
cool. Anyway. Are you guys ready to go on Zen?
Yep. I'm ready.
Cool. Going in 3, 2, 1, go. Okay. Let's do intros this time. Polly?
Sure. In the bottom left, trying to just take one more match and secure this victory in the blue Protoss, it is three-way lover. And in the top right, the Zerg player looking for a reverse sweep, already extractor tricking, it is Spiny.
Oh,
he's
happening
doing it, boys.
again. It's happening
He's
again.
doing it. My dream has come true.
It's
happening, boys. There we go.
This is actually a map where you can build the hatch in the main and build it out of vision if they don't scout.
Oh, is he going to do that?
I don't know if that's the plan, but no, okay, we're building it on the low ground.
That's the drone there just to stop the cyber core.
Yeah, the probably like 60 APM drone right there. Every single like couple frames is sending a new attack move command to right there. I think it's attack move because it's red and point flowery, right?
Yeah,
But-
it's
I mean, you got to put that APM somewhere. 1,000 APM already for the Zerg player, and in a very, very impressive 50 APM for three-way lover. When it comes to bots, it's kind of backwards in terms of what's impressive or not. You know, bots, like, if you're not careful and you're kind of sloppy with your coding, get hundreds of thousands of APM, and it could even cause issues where actions get dropped because there's just too much for the game to handle. But like, if you are really clever with your code, you can have like as low as like 0 APM or like less than 50 APM, and three-way lover, very impressive. Nice low and 30 APM.
oh, he's seen the he's seen what's coming. Let's see if he can react this time. So
Taking the expansion.
taking the unnatural. It's lucky because his natural's already gone.
Yeah, actually. I mean, this is honestly taking a third like that is not a bad reaction against something like this.
Yeah.
But not building a cyber core definitely is not ideal.
Remember what three-way lover is built off of? It. He's built on like PySC2, right? Or Python SC2?
Python, yeah. So
Yeah. Like, does it not have frameworks to like reposition your buildings if you get hard blocked like that? I mean, maybe not. Like, because maybe like for the early wall, you just really want to put it in the right position. Otherwise, what's the point of even making a wall? But
I mean, if you look at the Zealot this time, he's gone directly past the hatchery, and he's actually taking out the spine crawlers. That's a major difference from last game. So he might be able to hold this a bit better.
Queens come out. The real question is, who wins? Does the queen win, or does the zealot win?
I think the queen.
No,
will,
if the queen's
He's
not attacking.
micro-wing!
Oh
Oh no.
no! No, this queen is not long for this world, unfortunately.
That's unfortunate. I think a queen can normally win that, but like, when you kite like that, I think it reduces your DPS a little bit. I don't know who's supposed to win, but
It certainly was not the ideal micro there. And these spines are dying without
yeah.
getting cancels.
So look at the losses. There's 4 drones and 4 spines already gone down for Spiny. This is not
man,
looking
this
good.
is a disaster.
This is
Pretty
absolutely
much
the worst case scenario.
possible. Yeah, exactly. Worst case scenario, worst possible opening. And a lot of it comes down to this hatch placement. I was thinking he's gonna build his hatch like a couple squares over to the right and get build a little closer to the ramp, you know, and just be a little more annoying. Built it right on the natural. If he built over to the right a little more, maybe he could have got the spines up because the results would have got distracted. But not this time.
In theory, you can use your hatchery just to block the bottom of this ramp here, and like that would really fuck him up.
Yeah, it would.
Yeah, if you use the hatchery and like an evo chamber, you can block between the gas and the mineral wall, and you can make a hard wall.
Yeah.
Didn't quite wait for the Zerglings and the Broodlings to prop out, so no Zealots have even gone down. I think this is about as bad as it could get. 4 minutes and three-way lovers already on 3 bases. 40 workers, building it 3 workers at a time to the 13 workers of three-way lover. He's 1 base, and all he's doing is pumping out Zerglings 1 at a time that get killed to these Zealots. Does he have a shot? Does he have a snowball's chance in heck to come across the map?
I think
and
his
stop these Zealots?
best odds here are hoping that three-way lever crashes.
Yeah.
I mean, it's possible.
There might be some sort of transition out from Spiny, maybe, but like, there's not much of a transition he can make, I guess.
Single
Yeah, I don't
zealot
think
goes
there's any
down.
transition you can make at this point. Oh, we got 1 Zealot, so there's that. But
Yeah.
you gotta remember, every pair of Zerglings that goes down is another worker that's been killed. Opportunity cost. Every pair of these drones, or pair of Zerglings, could have been a drone. And
Yeah.
as these Zerglings die, is getting farther and further behind economically.
Yeah. Still
Yeah,
no more
but-
workers.
78 to 21 supply. Really not the spot you want to be in.
No.
Pull the
I don't-
boys.
There's not even
At
any
this
boys
point,
to
I'm just
pull.
watching out of respect for Spino, because he is a very strong bot, and I think he has a lot of potential.
Yeah.
I say potential, but 4th place is still like absurdly good for bot. We got like
Yeah.
dozens and dozens of bots out there, and he's like number 4 in this tournament. So
Yeah, and he's actually the current ProBots champion as well, so
yeah,
Um,
I mean, he has potential. Maybe one day he'll live up to it.
Yeah.
We gotta
He's
see
only a
these-
champion.
Yeah.
Only 4th place. Maybe one day he'll live up to his potential.
Yeah. So I am actually probably going to call this one here, guys, unless you have any objections. Congratulations
not look like
to.
there's anything.
I'm just sad to see him go.
I know. Yeah, congratulations to Three-Way Lover, taking 3rd place in the tournament, an awesome achievement. I think that's his first ever money placement. Congratulations, Yamabushi. Unlucky for Raspra and Spiny. I'm sure they'll be back though in the next tournament. But yeah, it was really nice one in the final match. I actually thought like that was going to take it when I saw the probe coming across the map there, or the drone rather.
There was a chance that could have been a reverse sweep.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah.
Looks like we've got a bunch of new faces in chat. You guys want to give a introduction to what's going on here and
Oh yeah.
what we're trying to accomplish?
So we are SC2 AI. We run Starcraft 2 AI tournaments. We have a constant ladder running. Actually, I do have an announcement about that, which I should probably make now. We're starting up the new season of the ladder on Wednesday. So if you want to submit your bots and have them all up and running, I will be authorizing them from tomorrow. And then we'll get everything up and running on Wednesday, and we'll be starting season 11. So that should be a lot of fun. You boys plan on having any bots in there? Or...
I might. I'm Beyond Junior is probably not coming back. If he does, it'll be a rewrite. I've been rewriting it in Python. Maybe he should come back. I don't know. I just don't want to do more work in C and C++. It's just such a pain.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I feel that. There's a reason I started in Python, and there's a reason I'm not giving it up.
Yeah, I'm still on the C++ hype train, guys. Sorry.
No, it's all good. And the other thing is, Beyond Junior, his strategy is basically just Micro Machine. And I don't think I could be a better Micro Machine than Micro Machine. And maybe I'll just upload him and see if we can get him running again. If we could get him running, like, we'll see how well he does. He's probably way far behind everyone else. I think everybody else has better macro and micro, so we'll see.
I mean, you say better micro, but Cinderblock was doing pretty well for a while with the micro code of 3 lines, pick a random target and just attack it, so.
Yeah. So Jebelicious is asking in chat if C++ is still supported. C++ is more than supported. C++ is currently the reigning champion with Micro Machine. So Micro Machine is carrying the flag for C++. He's basically doing it all by himself with like hundreds and hundreds of Python bots just running to catch him up. And like, if you can imagine like the big flag carrier standing above all of the other Python bots, just maybe I'm taking that a little bit too far. I don't know. But yeah, you get my picture.
Yeah, for sure.
Which brings us nicely onto our final. Micro Machine against Strelok. It's here, guys.
I can't wait. It's one of my favorite matchups. I think we saw, who was it like last season? I was commentating the finals like from home with a terrible microphone or something. And like it was, I think, Micro Machine versus someone else. Do you remember who it was? Was it Strelok?
I don't think it was Ketrock. That was the one. And we had a fantastic game with not Ketrock, sorry. It was GensiBot.
GensiBot. Yes, I love GensiBot.
Yes.
Strelok and GensiBot. Absolutely love those two bots to death.
Yeah. GensiBot was amazing.
We really love these TVTs for the finals.
Yes. I don't know what it is. Do you think Terran have a natural advantage with bot play?
I think at our level of competition, where everything's scripted, I think they have a potential micro advantage because a lot of their, like Terran's, one of their
Cyclones.
race identities is they got 2 things going for them, right? One is they're stupid aggressive, right? Like they're probably the most aggressive race out of the other 2 races because they're very momentum driven. Like you try and like get like the 2-1-1, like 6 minutes in, you drop with 2 medevacs, Marines, and Stim, right? And just start doing damage, trying to get an advantage, and you just keep pressuring them, right? Aggressive bots in general do have an advantage because if you're aggressing or being on the aggression, all you have to do is do your one strat well, right? And the defending bots have to defend against everything. So it's a higher challenge, I think. That gap is becoming smaller and smaller. Bots have gotten really good at defending. The other thing they have going for them is like they're very microable, like Marines, Medivacs, Cyclones, Banshees.
Cyclones.
Yeah, Cyclones especially.
Yeah.
Just Cyclones. Cyclones are, yeah.
Cyclones are a great
Reapers.
bot unit. Like
So-
the micro potential of Cyclones is huge because normally the problem with Cyclones in high level human play is that you can't control each individual Cyclone to lock onto individual targets as they're going around. So if you've got like 5 Cyclones, no problem. If you've got 50 Cyclones, trying to click each Cyclone and click on their target at the same time is just not impossible. But bots can do that because they have pretty much infinite APM. Well, not quite infinite. Anyway, should we get into our first match of the final?
I'm done. I'm loaded. Up and ready.
Polly,
I'm
you
ready
good
to go.
Okay, coming up on Zen. Going in 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, Doctor, you want to do the first introductions for the final?
Yeah. Bottom left in the red, we got Strelok. Probably the statistic underdog. Not to say he's a weak bot, but we got in the top right, I guess he's probably blue. Yeah, in the blue, we got Micro Machine, the statistical favorite, the Juggernaut, right? As I'm going to call him now, because he's just such a titan of the scene. He's been around for many, many years now. He's written by Raph, I believe, and something.
That's unusual, yes.
Unusual. I was going to call it unusual. Yeah, no, I would have had it right. He's basically the Cyril of the scene right now, or TY or Innovation, right? Where he usually gets to the finals, often wins, but not always. But very, very often, he's very strong bot.
Yeah, he's won our last 2 tournaments, so he's going for the 3-peat.
Yeah,
which
bunker mining. Sorry.
Is something before Micro Machine we'd never had a repeat champion of the SC2AI ladder, and Micro Machine is now trying to make it 3 in a row. So that shows the magnitude of the achievement that he's made.
And Strelok
Very
dethroned
impressive.
the king.
Yeah.
Strelok has a chance. If anyone has a chance, it's like Strelok. Well, I mean, there's plenty of people who have a chance. Like, I think Three-Way Lover and Spiny we saw earlier today both had a serious chance. Like, especially considering Spiny won Pro Bots, the most recent Pro Bots, right? So.
Yeah, I actually thought Spiny was probably almost the favorite for the semi-final. So, but yeah, unfortunately, didn't quite make it. But I say unfortunate, but we've got some fantastic bots here, so no shortage of that. Immediately I see Strelok is slightly later with his natural expansion. Both of them going across the map with some Reapers, I think. Oh no.
The Reaper's staying home, which is going to be
home, yeah.
very convenient.
Strelok's a very talkative bot early on.
Yeah.
Yeah, chat's asking if this is the finals. Indeed, this is the finals.
This is the final. First game of the final.
This is not the semifinals, the grand finals.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, he keeps talking.
He does have a cheat code for his bot, so I don't know if Micro Machine knows that cheat code. You won to the Scotland lottery. I don't think Scotland has a lottery, guys. I live quite near to Scotland. They don't give anything away.
Can't believe there's not a lot. Everywhere has a lottery. Do they really not?
Yeah, UK has a lottery. Scotland doesn't in particular. But,
Gotcha.
like, I never play it though. It seems like a tax for those bad at math.
Yeah, for sure. Strelok's getting some serious damage in with his early Reaper.
Yeah.
I guess both sides too, but Strelok has a Reaper at home to fight the Micro Machines Reaper. One interesting thing I'm noticing about Micro Machines build order, he has 4 gases, but only 1 worker on each of the gases. That's quite unusual. Like, that's 150 minerals he otherwise wouldn't have needed to spend.
Yeah, it does seem very inefficient here.
So Strolok taking out a lot of the SCVs at the moment. That's 4 down already. And I think the Cyclone's going to clean up though.
Yeah. 4 SCVs got down so far, with a 7 SCV lead for Strelok, with a 3rd on the way. So normally in the past I've joked about Micro Machine being misnamed because he is a macro king, you know, like he could be called Macro Machine instead of Micro Machine. But in this case, we're seeing a bot like giving Micro Machine a run for his, well, no pun intended, money, you know, like
Yeah.
he's definitely trying to be richer.
Yeah.
Certainly with that early economic damage is looking pretty good here for Strelok.
So Micro Machine does have this little Cyclone here, which is guarding everything now. So he should be safe from any more Reapers.
The Banshees are coming out here.
Yeah.
Cloak on the way.
It's a very signature Micro Machine thing. It's the Cloaked Banshees.
Yeah, and there are no turrets, so the defense is going to have to be Cyclones and Scans.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I think
Bit of a
actually,
stalemate.
yeah, Strelok does have a Raven on the way, which can detect the Banshees, so that's going to be good for him, I think. I don't think he's going to lose too much to these Banshees.
Man, Micro Machine's micro is like surprisingly less. Oh, I guess Strelok's Magfield Accelerator just finished up, but Micro Machine keeps trying to lock onto the Cyclone and then he runs away, like, and it just gets right out of vision, which is a shame. Like, he definitely could jump on that Cyclone and get it for free. Micro Machine's current advantage is in army. His army supply is almost double that of Strelok's, but like he needs to do something with it soon. His Banshee's getting almost no work done. Raven is done. Cyclone's done. That Banshee's not going to do anything. Of course, in typical Micro Machine style, not lose. Oh, he's actually lost more than I thought. He's lost a unit and 4 workers. So
Yeah. Yeah, we were saying yesterday in the semi-finals that it's normally when you look at the units lost tab for Micro Machine, you almost think it's a bug because it's quite empty. But this match he has lost a few more than normal.
The 3rd base only coming down now at the same time as the 4th, substantially down on workers. There needs to be some damage done here.
Yeah. So I think that 4th base is going down. Or the 3rd
oh,
one.
he canceled it! Oh, that was
Just in
so
time.
impressive. Oh man, he canceled it because he realized that there was a lethal shot on the way.
Yeah.
Like,
The
the shot
projectile
that
was
would-
in the air.
Yeah, and that's really hard to detect with the tools you have available. That's impressive.
Yeah. Yeah, seriously impressive from Micro Machine there.
Yeah, that's ridiculously hard to program, and I was impressed. That's
Yeah,
I can't
that
put into words how impressive that is. As a bot author, that's ridiculously impressive.
Oh. So yeah, now
Vikings and a
we're
Raven coming out now.
up to 5 bases with Strelok. I think
I mean, the
he
Banshee
just-
micro out of Micro Machine. Oh, it's so good. He baits the lock on and immediately goes out of detection range.
Yeah, that's well played there. He needs to get the Raven over. If you can get the Raven in to detect these, then you should be able to take them down.
Where is the Raven?
I don't know.
Oh, he's got 1.
Yeah, there's 2 there.
But the army is all coming together here for Micro Machine, and there are very few units out for Strelok.
Where are Strelok's units? Like,
He's just been, I mean, it's on 5 bases. He hasn't been building units.
well, this might be a major mistake, because Micro Machine might be able to push through here.
If he scans, you can try and kill the Banshee, but the Banshee kills the...
Yeah.
Or the Cyclone kills the Banshee just in the nick of time. So, you gotta remember, Strelok's on 4 bases to Micro Machine's 3. He is down a lot of workers, but... Oh, he has a 5th on the way. So,
Yeah,
He's
only
lost a
on-
lot of workers, but he has potential to recover as long as his Cyclones... You gotta remember, his Cyclones have backfield accelerators, so he might be able to eventually clean this up, because his Cyclones will trade better against Micro Machines units. So...
Yeah, the problem is he's down to just 26 workers. It doesn't matter how many bases you have if you don't have the workers to actually saturate them.
That's true.
Well, I mean, orbital commands.
Orbital
yeah.
commands really put in some work, though.
Yeah.
Terran has mules!
You're never out of the game as long as you have an orbital.
Yeah.
Like 4 or 5 orbitals, you could come back from like losing almost all your workers with that. Like that's a lot of economy.
Yeah. So I think it's almost getting cleared up a little bit here now for Strelok.
Yeah, Magfield Accelerator put in work. If Micro Machine had Magfield Accelerator, Strelok probably would have died. Strelok's making 4 SCVs at a time. His income is, oh, that's so brutal. Like, it's a third of the mineral income of Micro Machine right now. Micro Machine has a 4th on the way. Looks like Strelok's 5th either got canceled or killed or denied. That's not
Yeah, I think
good.
it got denied somehow. I entirely missed that one though.
Yeah, me too. Like, it's hard to follow all the action with like all the damage that happens all over the map. 79 worker kills for Micro Machine. Absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
And these Banshees are putting in more work on Strelok's 3rd. So
Yeah, picking off mules and just pulling units out.
Yeah.
And this went from looking very good to looking very bad here for Strelok.
Yeah, that happened very, very quickly, didn't it? We were just praising Strelok and seeing how well he'd done, and suddenly there was like 20 Cyclones and a bunch of Banshees straight at his base, and like that's what Micro Machine can do to you guys. That's why he is the champion he is.
I'm just shocked he didn't get Magfield Accelerator. It's like a mandatory upgrade in Terran versus Terran. Like, none of the upgrades matter as much as Magfield Accelerator.
Especially not if you're going for a full Cyclone-based army.
Exactly.
So it's being disabled. Is it going to kill on the Banshee there?
Cyclone's having a party inside of these
Oh yeah,
trees here.
Cycloneville. There's a cyclone crap in the woods.
Only people are around to hear it, that's for sure.
Yeah. So it looks like Micro Machine is going to pull back. But yeah, such a sizable lead now, it's going to be very difficult for Strelok to come back.
Indeed. Like, Macro Machine is definitely taking advantage, and I really respect that he's not killing his opponent right now. Right? I think at the pro scene especially, a lot of pros are like, okay, I get the lead. How can I use this lead to immediately end the game? When I think the more reliable play oftentimes, and probably the easier play too, is just get ahead and get an even bigger lead. Let that lead grow.
Yeah.
Get more ahead.
Exactly. Although that's not the way to get more ahead, by skipping Backfield Accelerator and then charging in with like the same number of Cyclones against the same number of Cyclones.
Yeah, this is a big win here for Strelok, I think.
Like, you can't fight Backfield Cyclones without Backfield Cyclones. It just doesn't
Yeah.
work. Like, for those who don't know and who don't play Terran, Cyclones, their lock-on does 400 damage over the course of, I guess 14 seconds. Magfield Accelerator makes it do an additional 400 damage to armored units over the same period of time. It doubles the damage. It's absolutely absurd. It makes it so you, like, 3 or 4 shot Stalkers, like 3 or 4 shot Cyclones. You kill battle cruisers faster than they could almost, like, tactical jump away. Like, it's absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, and the building of more and more battle cruisers here, maybe not the ideal counter to Magfield Cyclones.
Yeah, it's definitely brutal. With perfect tactical jump micro, maybe you'll be able to get some work done. Oh, this is not good for Strelok. Micro Machine finally has Magfield, so
No.
yeah. So Strelok's advantage, he has 8 Cyclones to Micro Machine's 6. And they're on the same number of Cyclones now. This is like I don't think
this
they
is
can
not
fight
good.
anymore.
I think like the Yamato cannon will be done in a few seconds as well. And
Yeah,
that's
despite
gonna
the same amount of workers, the army supply difference is massive here, and the effective mining bases is
yeah,
not even close.
I mean, he's gone from 4 bases. He's pretty much going to be on 2 in a second, I would imagine.
Yeah, this game's been a emotional roller coaster for chat. Chat's like, oh my goodness, went away for 10 seconds. It looked like GG, and now Strelic is back in it. And like almost like a few seconds after that, it looks like GG again. So
Yeah.
pretty brutal. But like Strelic put in an impressive fight, impressive hold.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, there's a bit at the beginning there where it looked like they really had a significant lead, and then there wasn't.
Yeah. So just a reminder, these two bots did meet in the group stages, and it was a 2-1 win for Micro Machine, but it was a very, very close games. So
have the bots been updated since then?
Yeah. So hopefully, we are getting some different games to the ones we had, definitely. But yeah, I think I'm about to call it here for Micro Machine to take a 1-0 lead.
Sure, he's 2 supply to 200 supply. I think he can come back.
I mean, yeah, you never know.
He can come back.
I'm going to call this one, guys.
So do you guys have any thoughts or analysis for the previous game?
Yeah.
What can happen for next game?
So, I think, like, obviously, if Spillock can keep being successful with the early Reaper, keep getting that, and then just obviously try to be a bit more aggressive against Micro Machine, then I think that would work very well. But yeah, it's just a case of he needs to convert that lead into a bigger army lead, and then just be able to push that a bit further, I think.
Yeah, I think there was a substantial, almost just too greedy, got a little bit of an early worker lead, and then was like, oh, you know, I'm just going to take a casual 5 bases against somebody who's like a 2-base Terran, and that's, I mean, yeah, if you have 5 bases, you don't have any units, and more units do tend to counter less units.
That's true.
Yeah.
I think a lot of the issues Strelic had was map related, right? Like it was that 4th base is a lot harder to defend, I think, potentially on a different map. Maybe he'll have an easier time gaining that advantage with Macfield Cyclones. So we'll see.
Next map is on Simulacrum. So I'll let you load that one up.
I'm up and ready when you guys are.
I'm good to go.
Cool. The game up this time. Going in 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, Polly, do you want to do instructions this time?
Sure. In the bottom right, the red SCVs looking to come back and defeat the champion. It is Strelic. And in the top left, with the blue SCVs looking to hold on to their throne, it is Micro Machine.
Yeah. So, I wonder if we'll see a different build this time. Obviously a very different map. I don't think you could get 2 more different maps than Zen and Simulacrum. So that might have a very big effect as well.
For sure. Start of the game, chat, not Twitch chat, but in-game chat, Micro Machine talking like, hey, we've won 50% of our battles. Is that 50% number indicative of the disconnect issue you have while running the games locally?
It's possible, yes.
Gotcha.
Or it could be to do with the matches they played earlier in the tournament.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
So,
Either way, I guess.
Yeah.
Just want to make sure chat's
Yeah.
aware that indeed this game is we're at 1-0 right now. So.
Yeah. So
Yes.
there is a percentage chance. So basically, what happens sometimes is that games are played and there is a bug on the client, which means that sometimes there's a disconnect between what's happening on one client and what's happening on another. So basically, one bot will carry on doing its normal thing and the other bot will just sit there doing nothing. So in that case, as the games are quits, and sometimes that can mean that the bot doesn't record it as a win or loss as it's supposed to be recorded. So that's what happens sometimes with the strategies, with the percentage numbers getting mixed up. I'm very sorry, but there really is not much we can do about that. It's a client bug, and there's nothing, and we just can't affect that. So, but yeah, we try to do our best to make sure that doesn't happen. Thread Strelok panicked with vodka error, not enough vodka to think of any reliable strategy. Using neural network power, strategy chosen, mass orbitals and Muse.
I
Muse.
mean, 200 SCVs, not the worst plan, I guess.
I've heard of better plans though. I think all this is a distraction to reduce Micro Machine's APM from his bunker mining.
Oh my gosh,
Oh,
yes.
Yeah. So, like, just in theory, mules don't use up any supply, do they? So, you could, in theory, just math orbitals and throw down mules.
But mules
yep.
cannot attack.
Yeah, but they can repair the SCVs that are attacking.
That is true.
Yeah.
So,
I guess
And
repairs do cost money.
And
Yeah.
you could force field the opponent's army with enough mules, right? Like, you just drop down enough mules and split their army in half.
yeah.
The new meta is just build enough. It's like with changelings.
Yeah. So, we're seeing this Reaper here. It's getting a few kills as it did before. So, I think.
Yeah, I'm actually really surprised that Micro Machine doesn't go for a second Reaper. In Terran versus Terran, 2 Reaper openings are almost mandatory because if you don't get 2 Reapers, like the game snowballs out of control. Like you gotta have 1 Reaper to fight your opponent's Reaper and another Reaper to make sure you win the fight against the Reaper. Because you lose your first Reaper, you don't have a backup Reaper, the game snowballs out of control. If you move across the map with the first Reaper and you have a Reaper at home to fight your opponent's Reaper, like you're gonna take a lot of damage.
Yeah.
So far, Micro Machines only got to the 1 Reaper, just now getting a second Reaper. And like Strelok's putting in some serious work. 9 workers killed.
That is quite a lot. Now,
That
I wonder if this
absolutely
time.
ridiculous for this early in the game. Against a human opponent, that could potentially be game-ending damage, but against Micro Machine, potentially not. Like, he has a very unique set of code that lets him bunker mine, which means he can do similar amount of work with fewer workers, right? So if you look at the income tab, the income is very similar, even though he's down so many workers. Like, he is mining with 2 mules versus the no mules of his opponent, but...
Mules, very good.
Yeah.
Yeah, mules indeed are good. Oh,
That's
and he
gonna
got the
leave him without
gas.
any scans, yeah. So that's going to cut down that bunker mining for a little bit. There is now some Banshees coming out.
The Raven, though.
Yeah. Oh, yep. Strelok does have a Raven, so that should. A Raven and a Cyclone is a pretty effective counter to a Banshee.
I really like the Reaper dance on the left side of the map. We got Strelok's Reaper dancing on the high ground and Micro Machine's Reaper dancing on the low ground. It's actually really, really funny to watch.
Yeah.
Like, Micro Machine keeps trying to go up the ramp and he just barely sees Strelok's Reaper. And, oh man.
Then turns around.
Same with Strelok's Reaper. Uh-oh. So even though 1 Cyclone can beat another Cyclone without backfield accelerator, 2 Cyclones can beat the Cyclone with backfield accelerator because it's the same damage.
Yeah.
That's probably the worst possible way to explain that.
Yeah, I know what you mean there.
Cyclones kill things with
Yeah, the
rockets.
Cyclone's going to kill off this Raven. That's pretty bad given the number of Banshees out on the map now.
Cyclones are just dying one at a time here. The army supply is getting substantially ahead here for Micro Machine.
Yeah, you cannot afford to hemorrhage Cyclones like that. And he's about to lose another one. Strelok's gonna go up the ramp. 3 Cyclones lock on. They traded at least. Trading Cyclones when one person has backfield and the other person doesn't have backfield, I think that's acceptable.
Yeah.
High sec.
This time, I don't think he's gonna trade. Oh, Micro Machine just doesn't quite get the lock on and kill the like. Oh my goodness.
There we go.
I'd love to have more insight on what the heck is going on with this Cyclone Micro, because it seems like once you lock on, you shouldn't ever let go of the lock on.
No, you should be able to just keep that going and kill the unit.
At least with perfect micro.
Those lock-ons are normally a death sentence for the units.
Yeah, I think the thing that's scary is when you lock on and then they also lock on. It's a matter of, do
Yeah.
you save your unit or do you trade?
Chat points out, why is Charlotte getting high sec auto tracking? And that is a good question.
I don't know.
Banshees.
Possibly. Oh yeah. 'cause it
If
wants
you
to
get high
range.
sec auto tracking, your turrets can range the same as the banshees, so they can. It's much harder for them to like pick off workers around the edge of your mineral line.
Yeah.
Of course, it doesn't matter when there are 5 cyclones and some Vikings hitting your SCVs.
Yeah.
Don't Banshees already have less range than the turret? High sec only gives.
Yeah,
+1
no,
range.
but like they can hit the edges of the
Gotcha.
of the mineral line. Unless you
was
build like a bunch of
nicely-
turrets.
That was nicely cleaned up there by Strelok. But Banshees are coming in at the natural now.
I really want to see him do more work with these backfield cyclones. I think he's waiting for a timing where he moves out with hyperflight rudders as well.
Yeah.
It's an interesting upgrade because not seen all that often, but
Hyperflight?
yeah.
Yeah, you have to really commit to the Banshees as a late game strat. I think it's criminally underrated as an upgrade. Like movement speed and attack range are like the 2 strongest things you could possibly upgrade in like Starcraft. More than attack damage, more than armor, like movement speed and attack
Yeah.
range. That's what really
Movement
matters.
speed in particular is one of those ones that's just so good. People do not realize how strong.
No, these Banshees!
This-
Scan!
Banshees.
Scan!
Yeah, they could get
You
taken
can
out.
clean this
just
up
to scan.
so easily. Backfield Cyclones clean things up so fast.
You've got a Raven now, so that's going to take out one of them. But there's so many Cyclones lost there.
Oh my goodness. Like, Cyclones are one of those things you cannot, like, if you're doing a Cyclone build, do not lose your Cyclones for free. Like,
Yeah.
they're kind of like Swarm hosts, you know? Like, over time, they'll just get more and more value for free over and over and over again. And if you just lose them for free, like, that's so much win taking out of your sales.
Yeah. So
Somehow the worker count is surprisingly even.
Yeah.
Well, how are we doing on worker kills? 25 kills for the blue
25
player,
to
the Micro
19.
Machine.
Yeah,
So pretty even.
25-19 is not too bad, really. I think we've got a few more coming in here now. Oh, that Banshee just walked straight into the turret there. That's not normally something that Micro Machine would do. I don't think.
That turret range coming into play.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think the cyclones and whatnot too definitely not making it any easier.
There's some F2A move going on with these Ravens. It's a bit of a shame because like the Banshees are all over the place, and he's grouping his Ravens together. He needs to like split the Ravens so that way he can
Yeah.
more easily deal with the. Oh, get the cancel at the command center. Micro Machine's 4th is got some serious lock on happening, and
Yeah.
Micro Machine has Backfield Accelerator easily cleans up the Cyclones.
Oh, that's a shame.
Backfield doesn't help for some Banshees. Backfield. Oh, Banshees are light. I did not realize.
Oh, okay.
Why are Banshees light?
Because they're
I guess they
invisible.
fly. I guess they fly, so
yeah.
they have less gravity.
I
Yeah,
guess
that-
there is that.
So this, battle cruisers should be light too, because they're literally in space. They have no weight at all, right?
Yeah, but-
Yes. Yep. Mass equals 0 when there's no acceleration. We learned all the physics.
Yeah, I don't think that's how E equals MC squared works, right? Or
Yeah.
force equals MA or whatever. I don't know, dude. I don't know math. I
Welcome
don't
to
do
physics
equations.
class.
You thought you were here to watch StarCraft.
No,
You
you're here
were
to learn
wrong.
physics. But yeah, I think battle cruisers are just heavy for the sake of it.
And then there's
Yeah.
the massive units.
They basically destroy logic and destroy physics. They are battle
I
cruisers.
mean, like mutalisks flapping their wings in space?
Yeah, that's totally fine.
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Everyone points that one out, but like they can still breathe in space, though. Like, what's going on there?
But who says that they need to breathe? Like maybe they just have like their own oxygen sacs.
That's true, but like, I guess they're just holding the breath.
Yeah. For a really long, they photosynthesize.
I mean, like,
Looks like, yeah.
I mean, have you ever been sure that like the body of the Muthless isn't actually a giant oxygen tank, just that they can breathe? And what are they firing anyway?
Like boomerangs. I don't know.
Looks
surely-
like Micro Machine barely
Anyway.
doesn't get the cancel in the top right base.
Yeah. Let's get back to the game. We've been kind of
Yeah,
ignoring.
before we start talking
Yeah.
about Hydras next, because I got my own gripe with Hydras. Like, speaking of what they shoot, like, unlimited ammo. What do Marines shoot? Like, unlimited ammo? Like, are they just, like, making bullets out of there?
Yeah.
Who knows?
Ah, no. Anyway, looks like Micro Machine is starting to get a bit of an army lead now. Just harassing the space.
The bank is starting to go up.
Yeah.
Micro Machine's been trading a bit more effectively than has, which in the long game is actually going to matter. Looks like they're on even bases. This is one of the most even bot games, like two different bots fighting each other I've seen in a long time. Like, things are all over the
perfectly
place.
even on bases. They're almost even on workers.
It's just Micro Machines traded slightly better. Here's where the difference is going to come into play. Battle cruisers.
Yeah.
Yamato upgrades on the way, and if you thought Cyclones were cost efficient, battle cruisers are even more cost efficient.
Certainly doing some work.
Potentially, but they can also be. They don't win in straight up fights, but they have a lot of potential to have some nasty trades.
Do they not win in straight up fights? Battle cruisers beat like, well, I guess against perfect micro. If you have enough Ravens and disable, like, you can seriously mess things up. But I think Battlecruiser's biggest weakness is the disable of the Ravens. And I say this as a player who goes BC in like every matchup. Like, you get the Raven disabled, that's like 6 supply just gone. And probably gonna die. It's about as strong as Infestor Neural Parasite. Like, it just goes away, you know?
Oh, but see, with infested, with neural parasite, then it's mine.
Yeah, it's basically minus 12 instead of minus 6.
And then you just used all of the Yamatos in the tactical jump.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at cost efficientness. Strong's lost almost twice the amount of units and 50% more resources. Man, this is a testament to Strelok's macro. Micro Machines killed 87 workers to 23 of the workers that Strelok has killed, and Strelok still has the economic advantage in terms of workers. He has more workers by about 6.
Yeah.
6. It keeps changing, anyways.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty impressive, really. It shows how impressive this bot is that you can continue to do that, even when
Starting
under
to see
pressure.
Marines here in the
Yeah.
top right.
Yeah, it's understandable. The thing you got to keep in mind with Battlecruiser is they cost almost as much gas as they do minerals. And on almost all maps, you're going to be mining way, way, way more minerals than you are on gas. So you got to put that minerals somewhere. Traditionally, you get Hellions and a bunch of command centers all over the place. But I guess in this case, not necessarily. Micro Machine feels that the extra DPS and the advantage to hit both air and ground is worth the trade-off of not having the upgrades that you would otherwise have. Because Hellions benefit from mech upgrades. And mech armor upgrades as well.
Yes. Well, and then you just turn them into Hellbats, and then they can be healed because they're biological and mechanical.
How does that work? Like, how can you be
Don't
both
think about it too
biological
hard.
and mechanical? Like,
He's a cyborg. I don't know.
yeah, I think so. He's like Arnie in Terminator.
Man, one thing you gotta keep really admire about Micro Machines' play is he sends like 1, maybe 2 units to like all the bases all the time, which puts the opponent's bot in a very precarious situation because you got to think to yourself, okay, how do I split my army? You know, and that's a hard decision. Like both his humans and his bots, but bots even more so because most coding styles like really help like rely on F2A move a little bit. I don't know if rely is the right word, but like. The easiest straightforward coding style makes heavy use of F2A move, right? And if you're F2A moving all over the place, a single Reaper in a mineral line of one of your bases can do serious damage.
Yeah.
These battlecruisers with Yamato starting to put in a lot of work here against these Cyclones.
Yeah, for sure. Like, it's infinite value. And he's jumping away at the last second every single time. What is Strelok's way back into this game?
He needs to just be able to put some pressure on the main production of Micro Machine, I feel. Like, try and send some Cyclones over, maybe.
Yeah, I think some effective Raven Micro here could be really big. If you can actually kill a few of these battlecruisers, if you can cancel their TPs.
Oh, I think we caught this, but he actually killed a battlecruiser on the left side. So, he has that going for him.
Yeah. So I think just kind of like putting all those lock-ins straight onto the same battlecruiser as well. It's like battlecruiser is going to go down pretty fast. It's going to get another one there.
Yeah, he's not locking on to the same BC, and he's using lock-ons like with a little bit of ADHD too. Like he's like, oh, maybe I'll kill a Viking, which is fine, but he doesn't have any air units. And oh, maybe I'll kill a Cyclone, which is also fine, but like,
yeah,
you got to make sure you focus the right value targets. One thing I would like to see more of from Strelok is Cyclone run-bys, right? One powerful thing is you just take like 3 Cyclones, charge them to a base, you sacrifice the Cyclones, but if you focus down that base, that's pretty big.
Yeah. But
yeah, and pretty much anything to distract Micro Machine from using these battlecruisers to fight.
Yeah, especially those Yamatos are becoming quite impressive at the moment. The Yamato, also known as the delete unit button.
Yes, pretty much.
Yeah.
The battlecruiser count is getting very high now.
Yeah.
And these like run-bys of like 1 Reaper, 1 Viking, and 1 Cyclone just do so much work.
I mean, you throw a battlecruiser in there as well, and that's going to be...
Come on, disable on the BCs. Disable the BCs, jump on them with Cyclones. Like, you have enough to disable, like, all the BCs there. You might as well go try, you know?
He needs to try something.
It's your best shot. Like, if you
There is no more room to run away.
Yeah, Cyclones get a lot weaker when you can't kite with them.
I think it's looking pretty grim.
Oh, Strelok's actually doing a little bit of what I said. Well, actually, Micro Machine deals with it fine. Top left base, like 12 o'clock, there was a Reaper doing some work. He got 0 kills, though, because Micro Machine dealt with it so handily.
Yeah.
And these BCs putting in so much work, it is not looking good here.
That's the value trades that you're getting out of those. It's crazy.
Every time I think about making a bot and like bring back Gun Jr., I look at Micro Machine. I'm like, Micro Machine, you're like everything my bot would want to be in terms of late game. Maybe I'll just focus entirely on Reaper Micro.
Yeah.
No, there's so many SCVs, but
yeah, it's not going to help him, I
SCVs don't kill battlecruisers.
No. They heal
There's
them.
6 army supply.
Yeah.
Chat's saying I think Strelok can refine the Raven Micro and win. Like last season or the season before, we had the game with Gensi and Micro Machine, and it had it was a similar situation to this, except Gensi just pulled a bunch of Vikings, got a handful of Ravens, and then he just flew at the Ravens, disabled all the battle cruisers, and like destroyed Micro Machine's army. And it was like, oh, I guess there is fighting back against Micro Machine. Like that game was like so back and forth. It's probably one of my favorite games of Starcraft AI I've ever seen. But I think Micro Machine still went on to win it, but it showed that even gods can bleed.
Yeah, if you missed it, go back.
Every
and check
season yeah, for sure.
Yeah. But
Every season we see Micro Machine, like bots approach the skill level of Micro Machine closer and closer. And I'm not counting Strelok out yet either. Like all these games have been so close.
Yeah, I mean this one was even bases, even workers for the vast majority of this game.
Yeah.
Just
Although
slightly more efficient trades.
I don't think we're going to be seeing any more mining out of Strelok, which leads me to believe that this is about as over as it gets, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's amusing to me. This is the first game I've ever seen out of Micro Machine where he won from micro rather than macro.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't seen, I haven't followed the earlier games of this tournament, so there could be more. But most bots, like, took early damage from Micro Machine, and then Micro Machine's macro just spirals out of control. Like,
Yeah.
goes nuts as bananas.
Right, so I'm gonna fast forward this now. I think it's pretty much over. GG, guys.
Yeah, this game, Strel got the early economic lead,
Yeah.
and Micro Machine won through more efficient trades throughout the course of the game.
Yeah, no, definitely. It was, it's definitely impressive to see that at Micro Machine. Even after dominating the scene for so long, there's still improvement that he's making all the time, which is one of the things which I think keeps him on top. So yeah, GG. 2-0 lead there for Micro Machine. Is he going to 3-0 this, or can Strelok come back in this game?
I was asking, is this best of 5 or best of 7?
It's
I think it was
best of 5.
right?
Best of 5, yeah. So,
honestly, I think best of 5 is fine for semifinals and finals. I think in general, like, bot games are a little different from human games, like, because maps do make a difference, but like best of like 3 like doesn't, I think, matter as much as it does in humans, because like sometimes you catch a human off guard or something. But
yeah, I mean, generally, once you get to kind of like 5 games, you've seen most of what the bots have to offer at the moment. So that's not to say they can't have other tactics, but that's generally the way it goes at the moment. We'd consider doing best of 7 if it got to a situation where I thought there was going to be enough variation. But yeah. So anyway, our third game is on Nightshade. Let me know when you two got that loaded up.
I got it loaded up.
Give me just a moment.
No problem. But yeah, so I think Strelok does have a chance, but he just needs to press that early advantage that he gets and see if that works for him.
All right, I'm good.
Cool.
Okay.
Going in 3, 2, 1, go. Okay. Doctor, you fancy the intros this time?
Sure. Top left, we got the red Terran, Micro Machine. Did we switch over to the?
Yes.
Right. I'm looking at the stream. Maybe I'm just delayed on the stream. Bottom right, we got the blue Terran, Strelok.
Yeah.
Yeah, the chat's saying no, we didn't switch over. I'm thinking we didn't. Like, I think I'm just like, everyone's just introducing my face, like, and your face.
Oh.
Like, so. And top left we got Polymorphotic.
Sorry.
Top right we got Crypt, and the bottom center we have Ian Gallagher, also known as the Doctor. So,
I am
there
very
we go.
sorry, guys. Like, I should probably remember that like every time.
Yeah,
Sorry.
but it's a tradition at this point. So the bottom right,
Yeah.
and the blue we got Strelok. Top left and the red we got Micro Machine. I think we know the bots fairly decently at this point. But Strelok's doing some fishy stuff with his first SCV. Is he just scouting, or is he proxying? Looks like right now he's just scouting for
No,
proxies.
I think it's just scouting. Yeah. I mean, he has been doing proxies in the previous series against Three-Way Lover. He done 3 lots of proxies to get through. So
This is a 2-gas opener. Could definitely mean some aggressive intentions here.
yeah. So I actually think like that proxy strategy from Strelok might actually be successful here, but I don't think he's going to use it.
I completely agree. I think Strelok's Reaper Micro has been strong enough that if he proxies Micro Machine, he'd probably win a good chunk of the time, because he's doing some serious damage with a single Reaper not proxied, walking all the way across the map. Like, he's getting like killing a third of Micro Machine's early game economy, which is absolutely really impressive. But if he proxied, just imagine how much more significant that damage would be.
Yeah, absolutely.
Early 1-1-1 with the command center 1-1-1 on the other side.
So that's it. Send
I don't think it's
Reaper.
1-1-1. I think this is this is gas versus, there are 2 gas versus 1 gas, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, no, they've both got 2 gas, I think.
Well, they do now, but
Yeah.
the Reaper dance begins.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
both 2 gas. Just Strelok is 1 base for some reason.
So this is actually pretty bad for Micro Machine, I think, because on the last 2 games we saw that Reaper get across and kill a fair amount of probes. This time it looks like it's got scouted and caught by the other Reaper. But it is coming across now, so we'll see if that makes a difference.
What were you going to see out of the starport, do you guys think? 1 base. I don't know how I feel about 1 base from Strelok. Strelok's gotten so much early game economic damage and such a big economic lead that I don't know how I feel about a 1 base play from Strelok. 1 base Cyclone Banshee, maybe? Cyclone Raven?
I'd imagine he's going to go for some Banshees. Like that might be
Quick Liberator range and siege the natural?
Well, that would be good, actually.
I feel like you need a Raven though. It's TVT. Like if you don't have a Raven, you sort of just lose.
You can often lose. The Raven matters the most when you're going bio-tank versus bio-tank. If you lose a Raven or get low on Raven energy, the game just immediately ends because you disable the tank and then jump on their army with your bio and your tanks, and then you get on top of their production, the game just ends, right? Cyclone versus Cyclone Ravens matter less because disabling Cyclones isn't as impactful as disabling tanks, right? That's not to say Ravens don't put in work, but like anti-armor missile doesn't matter because you spell damage, and auto turret is probably their most useful spell, but even then it's like it's not as mandatory.
Ooh, the
Matters a
Reaper
lot
lives.
more with
Ooh,
cloak
it doesn't
expansions.
anymore.
Sorry. What was that?
Oh, yes, that's one very dead Reaper.
Yeah, how much damage did he get? 8 worker kills? Not bad.
Yeah, that's pretty good. 8 worker kills and the other Reaper. Oh, it's a very long way to kill that.
Sir, please do not lock on. No. Oh my goodness.
Not
Strelok's
the ideal trade.
That is
No.
absolutely terrible for Strelok. Strelok's advantage is he's going 1 base. He's going to have more Cyclones and faster max field accelerator than Micro Machine, right? And if he goes across the map, loses Cyclone, he's not going to have more Cyclones anymore. And that's a huge loss. Like what he needs
Also,
to do is,
what do you guys think of 1 base high sec auto tracking? I mean, personally seems a little questionable, but
it's
Planetary
not
Fortress
something
Rush
I would
incoming?
do. Yeah, it's certainly not something I would do. Put it that way. Like,
what's funny is even though he was 1 base, he's still ahead economically.
I mean, yeah, he got a ridiculous amount of worker kills with that first Reaper in the main.
Yeah.
I'm just imagining how much more damage he would have got if he, like how far ahead he would be at this point if he just went Reaper Expand.
Yeah, it'd certainly be a lot better for him, I think.
It's another 3-4 workers, I think, that you get as a lead. You go Reaper Expand instead of getting your command center so late.
Yeah. So this Banshee's coming in at the moment, but I guess I should play my Cloaked Orb out for units.
That's a brutal scan.
Oh.
Like that scan was aggressive and you didn't get the Banshee. Every scan's 300 minerals, roughly. A little less, a little more maybe. And every time you scan this early on the game, there's like, oh, I could have just built another base for free, you know? Oh boy, this game could end. This game could end. Well, he does have backfield accelerator Cyclones versus non-backfield accelerator Cyclones. That makes all the difference in the world. But that is still 3 Cyclones. Focus fire on 1 Cyclone, you can take him out. Looks like Micro Machine runs away with 1 of the Cyclones. And Strelok manages to live to see another day, but wow.
That was
Very
close.
close.
Yeah.
That could have gone very differently. The geometry of the map helping him out too. His Cyclone got locked on too from the low ground to the high ground, so he couldn't lock on back. So
Yeah.
It would be nice to see some of these units using the high ground vision pervert pillars to break lock-ons.
I'm not sure that what's
that would be
happening.
really funny. That would actually be really clever.
Oh, I don't like the lock-ons to the command auto commando.
Lockdown to the
Yeah.
command center is the worst possible thing he could do. Like
Yeah.
again, his advantage is he has a bigger army, right? So if he takes his army, smashes it into his opponent's army, his opponent won't have anything to defend when he does the lock on. It's So he got half of his opponent's command center's damage.
Yeah.
Not
Is
the
now
damage you
taking
need
a
to
third
do.
though. Strelok ahead on workers
Yeah, but
and has the third substantially quicker.
he's a long way behind on army at the moment, and Micro Machine is just going to keep using his army to pressure. So
He's not even that far behind. Army supply is pretty equal. We got 3 Cyclones on one side to 3 Cyclones on the other side. 3 Cyclones, a Raven, and a Viking to 3 Cyclones, a Raven, a Reaper, and 2 Vikings. And I guess 2 Banshees. But
It's sort of does come down to the engagement and how grouped things are. Fourth base for Strelok here seems very aggressive.
yeah,
Or,
that's getting
sorry,
greedy.
greedy.
Yeah,
I like it. Micro Machine can't end the game at this point. So they might as well get even more far ahead. I don't like him moving across the map with these Cyclones, though. Because if he's going to be taking the 4th base, you can't risk losing your Cyclones. You can't risk losing
If these
any
units,
of this.
if these units die, you just lose the game because then they just walk across the map and you have no units.
yeah.
Oh, what
I
is that
think
Cyclone doing? Speaking of units just dying, stop walking out to the command center!
This command center is the real MVP here,
Yeah, it's
having
ta-
tanked so much damage.
Yeah, so he was greedy, but he had just enough army that if he concaved, Micro Machine couldn't kill him, right? Like, but now he's lost his army, and his 4th is probably going to get canceled, right?
Maybe even his third. Like, this is
yeah, this is
18
like
to 38 army supply. That's really not ideal.
So
No.
now is the time to lock onto the command center. Although you got to remember, Micro Machine doesn't actually have a backfield accelerator. If he did, he could just lock onto the 3rd CC and just instantly kill it. But he doesn't right now.
Yeah, he does land the Vikings, but then pick them straight up again.
And just like that, Strelok's massive advantage is gone.
Yeah,
From that move out across the map and locking into the command center.
it's
It
down,
is very tragic.
down to just a fraction of those workers now, and yeah, it's looking pretty grim here for Strelok.
Even the Banshee going to work on the 5th.
Yeah, it's trying to take out the refinery. But yeah,
He just
so
got a
looks like-
little too greedy.
Yep. I mean, it looks like he's gonna hold for now, but for how long is the question.
Strelok needs some auto turret micro. He could just flew up to a Banshee with a Raven and then ran away with it. He's like, you could just run up, plop an auto turret, run away, get the Banshee. But this time it looks like.
At the end of it all, down 15 workers and 15
Yeah.
army supply.
yeah, it's a long way back here now for Strelok. I get the sense. 2 games down and this far down in the 3rd.
Yeah, Magfield accelerator's about to be done. The battle cruisers are coming out.
Yep.
This is gonna take something very fortunate. Things are gonna have to go very, very right here for a comeback.
I don't see it, but you never know.
You gotta believe. You gotta believe. But based on the previous games, I'm not believing.
No.
Oh, I'm a commentator here. Oh man, maybe there's a chance he could come back here. You know?
I mean, I'm just
he's
saying,
down, but not out.
if from this position Strelok does come back for a 3-2 victory, like I would actually call that like the biggest upset in Starcraft history.
Will we see the biggest upset in Starcraft history here?
Find
Yeah.
out on
No.
IC2AI.
No, yeah.
No.
That's like that's borderline straight man and like funny man or whatever it is. What's the comedy you got the straight man and then you got the other guy?
Yeah.
Burning Man, Straw Man.
Yeah, I did straw man. Yeah, so we
Yeah,
got the
I
straw
think
man and
it's
the fucking
straight
straight
man
man.
and funny man, but yeah, like I don't know.
Yeah. Basically, it's like, oh man, what will we see? No.
No.
We got the straight man and funny man right there.
This is looking about as grim as it gets here for Strelok. But that's not like let's not forget that Strelok made it to this final, fought his way through groups involving Micro Machine and Benbot BC, which may have almost been another favourite to get out of the group. Fought his way
Who
through.
called in the fleet?
Yeah. Fought his way through a group winner in Sharkbot, and Sharkbot, let's not forget, defeated Bernie's bots, Blinkerbot, sorry, and Sharpened Edge in the group, which was a hell of a group to come through for Sharkbot. Some called him a surprise package, and Strelok defeated him fairly handily in the quarterfinals, and then came through a tough match with Three-Way Lover in the semi-finals. His run ends here in the final against Micro Machine, but he's had a fantastic tournament. But really,
Well, everything being said, the worker count is now even, despite the army count being a bit rough. Potential. There's potential.
There is.
No. That's my turn to just say no. I mean, well,
Yeah.
there is potential, but again, StarCraft is more than a game of just economy, right? There's trade-offs here, right? And the trade-off here is, while they're even on economy, Micro Machine has up in army and up in tech.
Yeah, and the map control is very strong here for Micro Machine.
Yeah. But really, what more is there you can say about Micro Machine? It's fantastic bot. Like, and then we see the delete unit button used again.
Deleting turrets.
Yeah. Yeah, I think half the problem here, Starlock, is investing in building more SCVs, and while that's fine, like, you don't really need more SCVs at the moment. You need something to fight, and he's got nothing to fight.
Yeah, it seems like Strelok's biggest weakness here has been greed,
Yeah.
which can be difficult to get past.
Yeah.
Definitely something I struggle with as a player.
Absolutely.
80 drones, 4 Zerglings, you know.
I mean, like, fight with drones.
Exactly. They regenerate. He's clapping.
I think a worker rush here from Strelok might turn it, maybe. No.
I mean, 32 workers, 5 army versus 120 army and 80 workers. So yeah.
It's probably not going to happen. Okay.
Very impressive
so,
showing here.
Yeah, this is Micro Machine in a nutshell. Like, it seems to be a buff when he gets to finals. He's 3-0'd 3 finals in a row. So every time he gets to a final, it's like he's unbeatable.
Unscratchable. The
Yeah.
paint job is too good.
Yeah. There is no paint on this machine. There's no rust on this machine, sorry. Alright. I am probably going to call it there, because Micro Machine is going to take his sweet time in cleaning this up. So, GG there, guys. There we have it. Congratulations to Micro Machine. It's won another game, and yeah, congratulations. I mean, what more can you say against Micro Machine? He's perfect in three finals in a row.
It's just too strong.
Yeah,
Somebody bleed. Somebody make this man bleed.
I'm sure we will have some fun. So there we go. Champion, Micro Machine, $250 first prize for champion. Strelok will take $150 for second, and third place will be Three-Way Lover. Takes $100 third place prize. Again, I'm sure Raf and Unusual will be living off their prize money until the next tournament. So
For sure, for sure.
I mean, he wins enough tournaments now. He pretty much give up his job and just make bots for a living.
He's basically like rolling it in prize money.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
he's gonna go to his bank account and they're like, "Oh, sir, Mr. Raff, we were expecting your visit, Mr. Unusual. Like we were anticipating. Is there anything we could do for you, sir?" Yes, I would like to see
Yes.
my vault. And then it goes back to the black room where his bank account vault is, and it's just filled floor to ceiling with dollar bills and coins and foreign currency,
Well, maybe.
cryptocurrency,
Bitcoin.
Bitcoin. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. It's
Bitcoin,
just filled
yeah.
to the floor to ceiling with Bitcoin, and he's just like absolutely loaded.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe 1 cent coins. You could just about make it out that. Maybe.
You walk into the bank, and he'll be like, "Sir, I'd like to order a pepperoni pizza and like have a side of pancakes." And it's like, "Sir, we're a bank, but for you, we will find a way."
Absolutely. So I will just in a moment get that up. Just let us complete the formalities here, and I will show you the full tournament bracket as it was. So there we have it. 3-0 win for Micro Machine in our final, and Three-Way Lover also takes the third place prize over Spiny there. But yeah, some very impressive performances throughout the tournament, I think. I was slightly disappointed Mad AI didn't get further. I thought he had some very impressive performances in the group stage, but was taken out by Three-Way Lover in the quarterfinals there. And again, honourable mention to Sharkbot, who absolutely aced the toughest possible group we could have given him, I think. So, yeah. So that's good. Anyway, that's about all until the next tournament, I think. Once again, guys, we're starting up the ladder again on Wednesday. Make sure you have all your bots ready and submitted, and we're all good to go. I will share with you the maps tomorrow. I think we're using the not the next season map pool, but the previous season map pool. So, Pillars of Gold. Oh God, I've forgotten all the names now.
Pillars of Gold,
Yeah.
Golden Wall. Unfortunately, no Purity and Industry, and we got Eternal Empire instead. Gosh darn it.
Yeah. But that will all be up with an announcement on the site tomorrow. So anyway, but that's everything from season 10 has now all been wrapped up. It's been a great season, guys. Thank you to all the bot authors who took part. Thank you to all the great casters, Polly, Doctor, and Kedrock, who was joining us yesterday, last week as well. And
didn't we have Yamabushi one week too?
Oh yes, and Yamabushi as well. So yeah, that's some great casters as well. And we will be back with season 11 starting on Wednesday. Make sure you join us. Thanks very much. Catch you later.